Hey everybody, it's Candy, aka Brown Eye Girl 69. How y'all doing? Set this off to the side for a second. Something that I want to read that kind of influenced me to make this video, even though I've been thinking about making a video the last couple of days. As you can see, my eye's kind of swollen a little bit. Last night it started hurting, and a little bit up on the upper part of my eyelid and right down here, and it was swollen, but it wasn't swollen like this. And then I woke up this morning, it was a little bit more swelled, but the pain isn't there. I was supposed to go out with my friend Ann today. We were just going to go do some stuff, but we got a lot of rain Tuesday, so Monday night into Tuesday, and the place we were going to go to this state park that has a hot springs that's naturally hot, and we were just going to kick back, put our feet in the water, smoke a J, and, enjoy our afternoon. But it's flooded, so the state park's closed. And then I told her about my eye, and she said it's probably from the cottonwood, because right now allergies are, hay fever, all sorts of allergies are stemming up right now here in Oklahoma because of the fact that it's the latter part of spring, moving into the early part of summer. So a lot of these plants and trees are starting to bloom, and, well, then we have allergies because of those blooms. So I think I had to go out yesterday with Kelsey. Her vehicle, my son-in-law got into a very minor car wreck. I think it was in March. And they're just now getting the vehicle 2 months later, almost 3 months later, taken in to be repaired. Because the person that hit my son-in-law claims that he wasn't at fault. And there wasn't an officer there, even though an officer doesn't determine who's at fault, But, so it's taken them a minute to try to get that done. So I had to take her up there to Norman to drop off her vehicle at the repair place, and then I had to take her over to Enterprise, rent a car to get another vehicle, and she needed another van, but they don't have any available. So she wound up getting this Volkswagen Jetta, and she's going to have that for a few days until hopefully they can get a van and switch that out for her. So I was out and about yesterday for about 5 hours, and outside for a little while for a few hours in that time frame, even if it was walking from my vehicle into the building or me and Kelsey sitting outside, etc., etc. So that's probably what happened. Anyway, I found this post today on Facebook. If you keep people exhausted and distracted, they won't organize. If you keep them struggling and divided, they won't resist. The system isn't broken. It's working as designed. Our system was designed for failure for the average human. The system was designed to only aid those in charge. Even though those people in charge are supposed to represent us. But they don't represent us. Why? Because we humans got lazy and decided to start to believe all the things that they were throwing at us and programming us with. They've programmed and divided the people intentionally on purpose. The left versus the right, black and white issues, who you choose to love issues. See, I don't consider myself a left or a right person when it comes to politics. However, I consider myself someone who agrees with some of the left policies. And then there's some right policies that I happen to agree with as well. But I'm not 100% leftist or rightist. I'm more of a in the middle kind of person. I try to find balance in everything. But yeah, that's where the downfall is occurring, is the division amongst the humans. What needs to happen is the humans need to wake up and realize that nobody is their enemy other than the ones that are trying to control and push the narratives. See? Everything's a racket. Everything's about money. Some way, shape, form, or fashion. It all comes down to that. It all comes down to how they can control the people so we won't see what they're doing behind the scenes. So we won't stand up and revolt like they did back in the olden days. In the days of kings and queens and peasants. Or was that even really the truth? Did they even tell us the truth about what actually happened in our past? In our ancestors' presence moments? No. I think they've lied to us about so many things that we really don't know what the truth is. But I truly believe that if we decide to let go of all that we've been told and open our minds enough to just see that we need to come together as a species, things would start to improve. But that's the problem, is people's brains have been programmed by so much junk in so many ways. Junk from food, junk from medicine, junk from religion. Anything and everything that would divide people has been done to us. We've been programmed that there's this God and then there's this devil, and that they're working against one another, you know. We've been programmed to believe that other humans are our enemy. And that if they aren't exactly how we've been programmed to believe, that they're the enemy, that, you know, there goes the division right there. Like, we've been programmed that if they don't fit into our little clique, that they're an outsider, you know, because they might be a little different, or a little bit lighter or darker than us, or a little thinner, or a little fatter, a little quieter, or too loud. You know, too friendly or not friendly enough. These are the things that we've been programmed. And a lot of people are still under the programming. A lot of people are still watching their TVs, their nightly news. And if they're not watching a TV, they're watching it on their computer, on their phones. Now me, this month, it's been 16 years since I awakened. It was 16 years ago this month, June of 2009, when I came across Show Me Baby here on YouTube. Unfortunately, he no longer has his channel. They took it away from him. I don't know how long it's been because time's just gone by like that. But I know it was after 2020 because I met him in the fall of 2020 in person. Was very fortunate to meet him and be able to get to stay at his house, actually. Even when he left, he let me stay at his house while he had to leave and go to work one day. So, pretty trusting guy. Good guy. Very good man. But it was this guy. His real name's Matt. And Show Me Baby. And he was doing a video on the H1N1 that I guess had come out in 2009. And they were trying to push the jib jabs for that specific strain. And he made a video saying, basically, don't take it. You know? So in a way, it was kind of a precursor to what they did to the people in 2020. But anyway, because of his video, I started researching. And that's when I realized what I realized. And that's when my eyes opened. And I was like, what? And that one subject led me to another, which led me to another, which led me to another, so on and so forth. And I've been down many rabbit holes. I've been down so many rabbit holes that led to other rabbit holes that led to another rabbit hole. I'm over the rabbit holes. I'm over trying to figure out anything. I'm over trying to seek the truth and be the only, to find the ultimate truth out. And no, I'm over all that. You know why? Because it all goes so deep. And we've been lied to about so many things that myself personally, I don't even know what to believe anymore. Other than what I see with my own eyes. And I don't want to fight. I don't want to argue. I don't have anything to prove to anyone. Sometimes on social media, if you make a statement about something and somebody doesn't agree with you, they'll reply back, prove it. Prove why you believe that way. Some things you can prove, and then some things are not provable. But you know within your heart it's the truth. I don't know if we humans can ever come together the way it used to be. I don't think so. I don't think we could ever go back to the way it used to be, because if we was to try, it would be different, once you give a baby candy, you can't take it away from them. And once you give a baby candy, they've experienced that piece of candy. Whether it's a piece of sweet candy or sour candy. You can never take that back. You can't not take that experience away once it's experienced. So, for me, I was born in 1969. I'm a Gen Xer. Um, I wasn't completely feral as a child, but I was somewhat feral. I preferred to be outdoors. I preferred to be out riding my bike or, playing with my friends or, you know, playing in the creek catching crawdads or skateboarding at the park, uh, swimming in the swimming pool, having picnics, just experiencing life, interacting with nature, and not knowing any different. And then being the generation that basically, by the time we were teenagers, we had computers. Basic computers at the time. They didn't do what the computers do now. But that was the doorway to where we are now. And we can never go back and change it. We got to continually move forward, A part of me is sort of excited for the future, but there's this part of me that kind of is sort of, I guess, for my grandchildren, wondering what the world's really going to be like when my grandchildren reach adulthood, And currently, my grandchildren are ages 4, 3, and 1.5. So what's the world going to be like in 15, 20 years from now, Is it going to be better? Or are we all going to be a little bit more tied down than we already are? Are we going to have certain privileges, freedoms that we have now stripped from us, even more so to where we have less privileges? Possibly. I just wonder, where have all the cowboys gone, so to speak? Where have all the good men gone? Where are all the people that should be out in the streets screaming at the top of their lungs that what's going on is not right? The cost of food, the cost of gasoline, the cost just to live should not be the way it is now. And I really see it crumbling. I really see it, something happening. Will humans survive? I think so. Not all of us will. Not all of us will. Anyways, I'm just sitting here today, chilling, relaxing, listening to music. If you've made it this far, I've made some playlists for all my music that I have really enjoyed listening to throughout my whole life. The one from basically 1969 until the 80s was called The First Decade. That was the first 10 years of my life. And then I have my teens, my 20s, 30s, 40s, and my 50s playlists. So, check them out. I'll be probably continually adding videos to the playlist as time goes on. If there's anything else I need to say, talk about, I'll be back. You know I will. Peace, love, hugs, snugs, and until the next time, I'm out.